Hi, it's Paul. I just want to look at a couple of cases of mucinous carcinoma. So this is an uncommon variant of ductal carcinoma of breast, usually seen in a mixed pattern, but it does have some distinctive features, and it illustrates how sometimes the pattern, the common pattern I've shown you of malignancy, has some variations. This case is quite cellular, a lot of dispersed cells that seem to have cytoplasm in the background, and then also quite a lot of background material which is staining magenta, which was mucin. Also noticed crisscrossing through that mucinous material are branching blood vessels. So, as well as dispersed groups, we've got sort of more rounded groups that are a little more cohesive. It's quite a thick specimen. And then on high power, you can see the cells have quite a uniform appearance. They're mostly plasmacytoid, and they have round, fairly uniform nuclei. Now, there's so much mucin, you might expect to see quite a lot of maybe signet ring type cells that are heavily vacuolated. That's not usually the case. Here on the PAP, you can see pink staining mucin and similar morphology to the epithelial cells. They're showing quite poor cohesion. Here we've got little vessels running through that mucinous material, and they're a common feature of mucinous carcinoma. On higher power, the cells are pretty bland and plasmacytoid. This is another case, again showing poor cohesion, but uniformity to the nuclei. Can't see any mucin just here. You can see the nuclei are very uniform and the cells poorly cohesive. So we've got some sort of fatty material in the background here rather than mucin, but other areas have these deposits of kind of magenta staining mucin on the air drieds. Quite, again, uniform plasmacytoid cells, and in this area they're in little groupings. Here we've got areas of mucin, again with those branching vessels running through it, and much more cohesion, so sort of rounded groups, again, of uniform cells. PAP stain shows similar features, and you can see the real branching blood vessels here. Sometimes people describe these as chicken wire type vessels. They tend to be quite thick and thin and form branching networks. Finally, just the morphology of the high power nuclei is quite bland, really. So, in summary, mucinous carcinomas tend to be cellular. They show groupings of cells, but often they can be quite poorly cohesive as well. The key two features really are the background, thick mucinous material, and chicken wire type branching blood vessels. So mucin-like material is seen in breast FNA in quite a few conditions. Probably the most common of those are fibroadenoma with a myxoid degeneration. It can have quite a mucinous-like background to it. Usually you'll have bare bipolar nuclei and a bimodal pattern, quite different to the cases we just looked at. Also, you can see a range of other materials, including foreign materials that are used in breast augmentation. You can also see benign mucocele-like lesions. These are often associated with DCIS and other lesions and form like a spectrum through to mucinous carcinoma. So the presence of definite mucin in breast FNAs should be treated suspiciously and prompt further investigation.